I currently own a Mini Paceman and I've had it since October of last year. I had previously leased a Mini on a lease scheme and that lease had expired, and therefore I had the option of keeping the car or trading it in and continuing with that lease scheme, and so that's what I decided to do.
It's a Ford Focus 1600. I've owned it for less than a year. I bought it because it's a nice looking car. It's quick. I like the design. The older Focuses were the same, very reliable. I just like the feel of it, around you. You to feel safe in it. It's a nice car. It's a good looking car.
Nissan Duke, I had one previously. Very reliable, very economical. I did go downhill a bit. I went from a 1.6 to a 1.2. Mainly for town driving, more economical, even though the 1.6 was. I chose it, it's very sporty looking. I've got to the age now where I don't need a family car. It's spacious enough for 4 people, but it's lovely, it's sporty and it's good looking. Nissan gave me a very good trade-in on my old Duke, gave me a bit of extra money towards the deposit, and they gave me a £2,000 loyalty fee, which was great, so it all helped towards it and made it cheaper as my monthly cost.
It's a Skoda Roomster, which is actually for my business. Price, features, reliability, and I think the service backup I find particularly good with Skoda. I've got another Skoda as well, so they give you like a free roadside assistance for 3 years. So you can phone them up and stuff like that, and they're just very good with their customer service, and I would say they're as reliable as a VW, if not more reliable, but a third of the price off, so sort of 2/3 of the price.
Most of the advice we got before we bought the Paceman came from the garage from whom we bought it. We were already fairly well informed about Minis, having done research online really, to get an idea of price and second-hand values, new values.
I always knew Focus was a good car anyway, but went for a nice test drive in it. It was good from there on.
I did see it initially at the Ideal Home Show, and my first impression at that time was ugly. Probably about a week after that, I saw it again somewhere and I thought, actually, that would be nice in white. I saw it in red, and next minute it came out in white. I said, I have to have it.
I started off buying VWs many years ago. I used to have a VW Golf, and I was fairly happy with it, although it did have a few problems sort of later on in its life. And actually, my brother bought a Skoda actually at one point, so I thought I'd try them because they're part of the VW family, but cheaper, like I said. So I think for me, it was historical, my own experience and research with the brand, and sort of German-made cars in my, so probably German and Japanese cars in my mind are the most reliable cars that you can buy.
I think when it comes to buying our next car, we very likely stay with a Paceman or some sort of Mini. The reason why people like Minis are because they have a lot of character. So from that perspective, I mean, there's a joke amongst us mums at school that if you drive a Mini, you're a yummy mummy. So there possibly is some sort of weird status connected to that. I just feel very comfortable in them, and to date they've been very reliable, so I don't really feel that I would change. I suppose I do feel quite loyal to the Mini now, because I've had one for a few years, and in fact when I was a student at university I also had one, and my mother had one, so there is definitely some sort of degree of loyalty there, yes.
It's never done me bad, it's never let me down. So, why change? Maybe if they put a bit more gadgets inside, that's about the only thing I can think of. And more range, yeah.
Because they seem to be very, they seem to be updating all the time. So yes, because they're updating all the time, it's not like you're buying the same car. This one's a lot of fun because of the new gadgets with it. Well, I think it's the customer service. I was really impressed with that. Car salesmen have got a terrible reputation. And it was really nice. I popped in a few times to sign documents, to do bits and pieces, look again. I left hugging everyone. It was like family.
I think when you have a brand that works and you have very little problems with it, that experience sticks with you. So I'd be likely to buy the same brand again if I could find one that I liked and the price was right. just because I would trust that it would deliver me the same experience again. Skoda is actually surprisingly good value for what, there is like I would say it's like a first-class brand at a sort of second-class price, but with great service on top of it.